Okay. So reduced mass. Actually, this reduced mass concept is useful to confine the motion of the two bodies into a single body. The motion of two bodies can be confined to the motion of a single body. Okay. In such purposes, the reduced mass is useful. Okay. Now, suppose on the smooth horizontal surface, suppose there are two blocks having masses m1 and m2. There are two blocks having masses m1 and m2. These two are connected by a spring, light spring. That means their mass is negligible, having spring constant capital K. Here, these two bodies are kept on the smooth horizontal surface, and at this position 1 and position 2, whenever the two blocks are at these positions 1 and 2, the spring is in unstretched condition. That's why no spring force is developed. Hence, along horizontal direction on the two blocks, there are no forces acts on them. Now, these two blocks are pulled away each other like this. Suppose this block is pulled away to a distance, say x1. This block is pulled away to a distance x2. Then, what is the total extension in the spring? What is the total extension in the spring? X1 plus total extension in the spring is equal to x1 plus x2, no? Okay. Total extension in the spring is x1 plus x2, not kx1 plus kx2. I am asking only extension. Therefore, total extension in the spring, whenever the two blocks are pulled up to this one, suppose the two blocks are displaced through a distance equal to, say, this one. This is x1, this is x2. Suppose these two blocks are pulled away each other to a distance equal to x1 and x2 like this. This block is displaced through a distance x1, this block is displaced through a distance x2. That's why whenever the two blocks are here, then spring will be extended, no? So that extension in the spring, total extension in spring is equal to x, say, that is equal to x1 plus x2. It is equation 1. Okay, now what is the force acts whenever the two blocks are pulled away like this, and when you release them? Are these blocks are here only, or they come back? Are the two blocks here only, or they come back? They come back. Why? What is the force acts on this block? Whenever these two blocks are released, at the time the force acts on this block is say F1. The force acts on this block is F2, because the spring is joined to the two blocks. That's why when the two blocks are displaced like this, the spring pulls this block in this direction, the spring pulls this block in this direction. That's why the forces acts on the two blocks are F1 is equal to that is equal to displacement is x1, no? As it come back here, rate of change in displacement we can write now. Rate of change in the displacement of the body we can write now. Actually, the spring force acts on this block is equal to k into the spring force acts on the block is equal to k into x. That is equal to, it's only displacement itwaipu unte spring force opposite direction undi kabatti you write minus sign. So that is equal to force acts on this block is equal to, the block is displaced by a distance equal to x1. That's why mass into acceleration of the block A1 you write first. So m1 A1 is equal to minus k into x. M1 into A1 means the rate of, it is acceleration, no? Acceleration is equal to, you see, velocity v1 is equal to, we can write dx1 by dt. That means the initial displacement of the block is x1. At the time, the rate of change in displacement while coming down is equal to dx1 by dt. Then acceleration a1 is equal to, again we differentiate dv1 by dt. dv1 by dt means d by dt of v1. v1 means dx1 by dt. Then you will get d square x1 by dt square, no? D square x1 by dt square we will get. Okay, that's why here this can be written as d square x1 by dt square, which is equal to minus k into x1. Now it is xx. Okay, x. Therefore, from this d square x1 by dt square is equal to minus kx by kx by m minus kx by m. Similarly, acceleration of the second particle, it is a1. Acceleration of the second body, a2 is equal to d square x2 by d2. We can write d square x2 by dt. Okay, d square x2 by dt is also equal to minus k into x only. Sorry, minus k into x by m. M means here m1. Here that is equal to minus kx by m2. It is the acceleration of the second block. Whenever it is having displacement x2, then acceleration of the second block at that time is equal to mass of the block into d square x2 by dt. Therefore, d square x2 by dt is equal to minus kx by m. We can write now. I followed this equation. I followed this equation. D square x1 by dt square is equal to k minus kx by m1. D square x2 by dt square is equal to minus kx by m2. Okay. Now this is the equation 2. From 1, x is equal to x1 plus x2. Now differentiate on both sides. Dx by dt, which is equal to dx1 by dt plus dx2 by dt. Again, you differentiate once more. Then you will get d square x by dt square is equal to d square x1 by dt square plus d square x2 by dt square you will get. Okay. So here d square x1 by dt square, d square x1 by dt square can be written as minus kx by m1. Here d square x2 by dt square means minus kx by m2. We can write minus m2. D square x by dt square means actually total extension in the spring is equal to x. No, total extension in the spring is equal to x when two blocks are pulled away each other like this. Okay, now we take one body only, single body. Okay, single body having certain mass m, so that by using the same spring, now to have the same extension x, and the single body in case one end of the spring is fixed here. You fix at one end. At the other end, you fix the single body having certain mass, so the same extension takes place in the spring also. Okay, then in such case, d square x by dt square can be written as minus kx by the mass of the single body. ఇక్కడ సింగిల్ బాడీ యూజ్ చేసి m మాస్కల్ సింగిల్ బాడీ యూజ్ చేసి ఇక్కడ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ద స్ప్రింగ్ ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్ సేమ్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ఉండేట్టుగా ఫిల్ చేయండి, ఆ తర్వాత డిస్ప్లే చేయండి. అట్ దట్ టైం యాక్సిలరేషన్ ఆఫ్ దట్ బ్లాక్ is equal to minus kx by mass of that single body. The mass of that single body is called the reduced mass. Reduced mass is a mr. Reduced mass is a mr. Okay, here in all we can cancel minus kx, no, then 1 by mr is equal to 1 by m1 plus 1 by m2. That is equal to m1 plus m2 by m1 m2. Therefore, reduced mass is equal to, we can write m1 m2 by m1 plus m2. Actually, here you see from this formula, acceleration of the single body, no, it is the acceleration of the single body. Okay, so therefore acceleration of the single from this equation, this is the equation 3, this is a 4, from 3 here this d square x by dt square means that is the, here we say d square x by dt square is the acceleration of the single body. Okay, that acceleration of the single body is a small a. Acceleration of the single body, when you replace these two bodies by a single body in order to have the same acceleration as the combination of the two. So acceleration of the single body, acceleration of single body, a is equal to here a is equal to, this is a is equal to, you substitute these values, minus kx by m1 minus kx by m2, where x is the, suppose when you take the single body here having the spring constant k, if it is displaced by a distance x, when extension of the spring is x, no, at that time acceleration of the single block is equal to minus kx by m1 minus kx by m2. That is equal to minus kx, you take common, of 1 by m1 plus 1 by m2. Okay, that is equal to minus k into, when you take LCM, you will get m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 no, okay, into x, am I right? Acceleration A is equal to minus k by m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into x, you will get. Okay, here this is equal to minus k by m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 means we can write reduced mass into x. Okay, here this is equation 5. From equation 5, acceleration of the single body having mass equal to reduced mass, then that is equal to minus some constant into x means that reduced mass executes simple harmonic oscillations. No, reduced mass executes simple harmonic oscillations. Therefore, acceleration A is equal to I got minus k by reduced mass mr into x. This is the required condition for SHM by a single body. Okay, when you compare with the general formula minus omega square into x, then angular frequency omega is equal to root k by reduced mass you will get. That is equal to 2 pi by capital T. If T is the time period of the single body of these two, which is called reduced mass, or time period of these bodies. Whenever these two bodies pull away and each other, release them, then it sustains oscillations like this. The time period of these oscillations is same as the time period of the reduced mass also. That implies time period of the reduced mass is equal to 2 pi into root of is equal to 2 pi into root of mr by k. mr by k. Therefore, time period T is equal to 2 pi into root of mr by k means mr means reduced mass, that is equal to m1 m2 by m1 plus m2. Okay, by k. So whenever the spring is, the two blocks are connected to the spring and kept on the horizontal floor, and the two blocks are pushed towards each other or pull away each other. And when you release them, then they sustains oscillations like this. When they sustains oscillations, then its the time period is equal to 2 pi into root reduced mass by k. And ఇక్కడ motion of the two blocks is confined to a motion of single body having mass m1 m2 by m1 plus m2. ఎందుకంటే ఒక స్ప్రింగ్ కి సింగిల్ బాడీ having this much mass is connected. Then what is the time period of that mass means this is only the formula, no? So the motion of the two bodies is confined to a single body having this mass, which is called the reduced mass. ఇంకా ఇట్లా ఉంటే మనకు క్రిటికల్ గా ఉంటుంది. దీన్ని సింగిల్ బాడీగా కన్వర్ట్ చేసి ఇట్లా నోట్ చేస్తే then time period can be found very easy. So in this way, motion of the two bodies can be confined to a motion of a single body, which is called the reduced mass. Okay, which is called the reduced mass. Okay, so that is the useful of the reduced mass. When two bodies are connected by means of a single spring, in such case, what is the time period of the two blocks when they are pushed or pulled away each other? Means that is equal to 2 pi into root of reduced mass of the two blocks by spring constant k. Okay. Shall I raise? Just this is m1 m minus k by m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 only. Just I have taken LCM and I wrote here. The same equation I wrote here. Okay. Dilip Kumar. Shall I raise? Okay. In this week, you are having total entire simple harmonic motion chapter. In this week, you are having total simple harmonic motion chapter. Okay. Next, note point. Suppose large number of springs having spring constants k, 2k, 4k, it was given once in advance. So large number of springs which are connected in series. Suppose here large number of springs, it is one spring, another spring, all are connected in series like this, and so on. Having spring constants k, 2k, 4k, 8k, and so on. In this way, number of springs are connected in series, and a load of mass m is attached, kept on the smooth horizontal floor like this. Smooth horizontal floor. Okay. So when large number of springs having spring constants k, 2k, 4k, 8k, and so on are connected in series and a load of mass m is suspended, a load of mass m is suspended by the series combination of the spring of negligible mass, then time period of the load attached. In this case, what is the time period? All the springs are in series only, no? In this case, what is the time period means? Effective spring constant we have to calculate first. What is the effective spring constant of all these? If you know effective spring constant, instead of all the springs in series, just you substitute the effective spring constant. Then 2 pi time period of the oscillating load is equal to 2 pi root m by k only, no? M is there. Effective spring constant, if you find, then 2 pi root m by k is the answer for time period. Okay, therefore, what is the effective spring constant? When number of springs are connected, infinite number, in such a way, infinite number of springs are connected, infinity. Infinite number of springs are connected like this in series. What is the effective spring constant? The effective, whenever all the springs are in series, then the reciprocal of effective spring constant is equal to sum of the reciprocals of individual spring constants. Like this, we can write. That is called 1 by first spring constant k, 1 by 2k, 1 by 4k, 1 by 8k, and so on. So 1 by k you take common. Then 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 plus and so on. So it is in GP now. Then infinite number of terms which are in GP. What is the sum of infinite terms? This common ratio is less than 1. Common ratio is 1 by 2 by 1, 1 by 4 by 1 by 2. That means 1 by 2. Common ratio is 1 by 2. That's why sum of the infinite terms in GP is equal to A by 1 minus R, general formula. So 1 by k into A means 1 by 1 minus common ratio 1 by 2. That is equal to 2 by k, no? 2 by k. Therefore, time period T is equal to general formula 2 pi into root of m by k effective. That is equal to 2 pi into root of m by k effective means 2 by k, no? So 2 by k, you write. Therefore, time period is equal to 2 pi into root of 2 by k or k by 2? No, it is 1 by k. 1 by k effective, no? K effective is equal to k by 2. Here it is k by 2. K by 2. Therefore, 2m by k. This is the resultant time period. Root 2 pi into root 2m by k is the resultant time period. Okay. Next. Okay. Superposition of two simple harmonic motions. Superposition of two simple harmonic motions in perpendicular directions. In perpendicular directions. These are important for advance. Superposition of the two simple harmonic motions in perpendicular directions. Okay, you see. Already, when two simple harmonic motions travel in the same direction, meet together with a phase of phi. First one, when two SHMs travel along same straight line, meet together with a phase, difference of phi. Come on, then you see one oscillation, one simple harmonic motion is represented by the equation A1 sin omega t Another simple harmonic motion is represented by the equation a2 sine omega t. As both travel along the same straight line path, that is the x-axis. And what phase difference is there? So plus phi, you write. Because the phase angle here is omega t, here is omega t plus phi. So difference in phase is this minus this one means phi. Then resultant amplitude is equal to square root of, already I think I said this formula, a1 square, because amplitude is a vector quantity. Its direction is always away from the mean position. Okay, so resultant amplitude A is equal to a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos phi. That is the resultant amplitude. We know this formula. Suppose if two simple harmonic motions simultaneously meet a point or particle simultaneously in a perpendicular directions. Here these two meet together in the same direction. Okay, suppose here one simple harmonic motion is like this, another simple harmonic motion is also like this only. Both are in the same direction. But one simple harmonic motion like this, one simple harmonic motion like this. When two simple harmonic motions at right angles to each other meet together simultaneously, in such case, what is the resultant motion of the particle? Here, when two simple harmonic motions travel along the same straight line to meet together with a phase of phi, the resultant amplitude is this one, and the resultant of these two simple harmonic motions is also a simple harmonic motion. When two simple harmonic motions travel along a straight line, okay, meet together simultaneously with certain phase difference, then the resultant motion of the particle is also a simple harmonic motion only along the same straight line, but resultant amplitude is equal to this one. But now, here in this case, two simple harmonic motions travel at right angles to each other. When they meet together with certain phase, then what is the resultant motion? That is important. Here, the resultant motion here is a straight line only. In this case, therefore, here resultant motion is also along same straight line path only. Along same straight line only. Okay, that is okay. Now, shall I write this part? Shall I write this part? Okay. Second one. When two simple harmonic motions meet together at right angles to each other, are perpendicular to each other in such case. So when two simple harmonic motions meet together at right angles to each other, okay, next here one more point is also there. Second one, when two simple harmonic motions meet together in the same direction with the same amplitude but different frequencies. So far we had taken the same frequencies but different frequencies. Okay, then what about the resultant amplitude? Right, that is also important one. When two simple harmonic motions meet with the same amplitude, when two simple harmonic motions with same amplitude but different frequencies. In previous case, we have taken the same frequency, same angular frequency omega, so the same frequency, same time period. But here, when two simple harmonic motions with the same amplitude but different frequencies meet together along the same straight line, comma, in same straight line in phase. Sorry, same straight line, because they are not at all in phase difference. There is a phase difference, not in phase. In same straight line, comma, then you see one simple harmonic motion is x1 is equal to a sine omega 1t, x2 is equal to amplitudes are same but frequencies are different. That's why sin omega 2 into t. Okay, when two simple harmonic motions travel along the same direction, meet together, then the resultant displacement is equal to x1 plus x2. That is equal to a sin omega 1t plus a sin omega 2 into t. This is equal to a, you take common, a of sin omega 1t plus sin omega 2 into t. Sin c plus sin d. It is just like sin c plus sin d. Sin c plus sin d means how we can write 2 sin c plus d by 2 cos c minus d by 2, no? 2 sin c plus d by 2. So here this is equal to 2 sin c plus d by 2 means omega 1t plus omega 2t by 2. Omega 1t plus omega 2t by 2 into cos c minus d by 2. That means suppose if omega 2 is greater, you write omega 2 minus omega 1 into t. If omega 1 is greater, omega 1 minus omega 2 into t, you write. Okay. So here suppose if omega 1 is greater, omega 1 is greater. If omega 1 greater than omega 2, then you write cos omega 1t minus omega 2t, okay, by 2. Therefore, the resultant motion, the displacement of the resultant particle at any time t is equal to 2a into sin 2a cos, you take t common, then omega 1 minus omega 2 by 2 into t into sin omega 1 plus omega 2 by 2 into t. This is equation. Say this part is equation 1, this equation is 2. Say. Now we compare these two. You see, these two simple harmonic motions are expressed in terms of sine function. So here also sine function is there. The coefficient of sine function is the amplitudes here. The coefficient of sine function is the amplitude here. So resultant amplitude. Therefore, resultant amplitude of the combination of the two simple harmonic motions when meet along the same direction is. అంటే రెండు సింపుల్ హార్మోనిక్ మోషన్స్ సేమ్ డైరెక్షన్ లో ట్రావెల్ చేస్తూ మీట్ అయినప్పుడు, రెండు సింపుల్ హార్మోనిక్ మోషన్స్ సేమ్ డైరెక్షన్ లో రెండు కూడా ఒకే డైరెక్షన్ ఇట్లా ఆసిలేషన్ చేస్తూ మీట్ అయినాయి, ఒకే పాయింట్ దగ్గర మీట్ అయినాయి. మీట్ అయినప్పుడు రిజల్టెంట్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ ఫార్ములా ఏంటంటే ఇది రిజల్టెంట్ యాంప్లిట్యూడ్. రిజల్టెంట్ యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ ఏ డాష్ అనుకుంటే లేదా ఏఆర్ లేదా ఏ డాష్. ఏ డాష్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్ టు సైన్ కోఎఫిషియంట్ అంటే ఇదేగా, అంటే 2a into cos omega 1 minus omega 2 by 2 into t. This is the formula for resultant amplitude. It is the formula for resultant amplitude. Is the resultant amplitude is constant? Is the resultant amplitude is constant? No. Here you see, this is the resultant amplitude. If t changes, cos value changes, so that this value changes now. Resultant amplitude is not constant. Suppose here two simple harmonic motions simultaneously meet together in the same phase. Suppose one particle oscillates like this. Because of the restoring force acts on the particle oscillates like this. Another restoring force also applied on the same particle along the same direction. And due to other restoring force also, the particle oscillates in the same direction. That means because of two restoring forces, the same particle experiences two simple harmonic motions along the same straight line. Okay. Because of two, here because of two simple harmonic motions meet together in the same straight line, the resultant amplitude is this one. Because of one restoring force acts on the particle, suppose the amplitude is a. Because of other restoring force, the amplitude is a. When two simple harmonic motions meet together along the same direction with two restoring forces, then the resultant amplitude is equal to this one. If angular frequencies are different. If angular frequencies are different. Suppose if angular frequencies are same, then this becomes 0, cos 0, 1, so resultant amplitude becomes 2a. Already we know when two particles travel in the same direction with different frequencies, meet in phase. ఇక్కడ phase difference లేదు ఈ రెండింటి మధ్య. సారీ, phase difference అంటే this is only the phase difference. ఈ దీని యొక్క phase angle అంటే ఇక్కడ ఒమేగా t, ఇక్కడ ఒమేగా 1t. ఈ రెండు మధ్య డిఫరెన్స్ phase difference. Okay. So now in this case, what is the resultant motion? What is the resultant motion means this is the resultant motion. Okay, next, what is the resultant angular frequency of the particle? Resultant angular frequency. Resultant angular frequency of particle. Omega resultant. Omega is equal to how much? ఇక్కడ యాంగులర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అంటే సైన్ ఫంక్షన్ లో ఉన్న కోఎఫిషియంట్ టీ యొక్క కోఎఫిషియంట్ ఇక్కడ సైన్ ఫంక్షన్ లో టీ యొక్క కోఎఫిషియంట్ ఇది కాబట్టి therefore omega 1 plus omega 2 by 2 is the resultant angular frequency. So resultant angular frequency of the particle is equal to omega 1 plus omega 2 by 2. So when the particle experiences simultaneously two simple harmonic motions along the same straight line. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక పార్టికల్ ఇక్కడ ఉందండి, దీని మీద రెస్టోరింగ్ ఫోర్స్ అప్లై చేస్తాం. రెస్టోరింగ్ ఫోర్స్ అంటే restoring force acts on the particle, brings the particle back to its position so that it makes oscillations like this. అట్లాగే ఇంకో ఫోర్స్ తో కూడా అట్లాగే ఆసిలేషన్ చేసేట్టుగా అరేంజ్ చేసాం. When two forces applied on the particle simultaneously, then the particle receives two simple harmonic motions along the same straight line. When the particle receives two simple harmonic oscillations along the same straight line, in such case the resultant motion of the particle is this one, and the resultant amplitude is this one, resultant frequency is this one. Okay. Here, these are the cases whenever the two simple harmonic motions meet together along the same direction. If they meet perpendicular, then what happens? That is the third case we have to discuss. So in this case also, as the two particles meet together in the same phase, then note that the resultant motion is also along the straight line. Resultant motion is along straight line. Resultant motion is along the straight line only. The resultant motion is along the straight line only. Okay. Resultant motion is along straight line. Okay. Next. So in this third one, when two simple harmonic motions combined perpendicular to each other with zero phase difference between them. So when two SHMs meet perpendicular to each other with phase difference between them, our initial phase is 0 degree. In such case, here you see one simple harmonic motion of the particle is represented as x is equal to a sin omega t, and the other is represented with a perpendicular direction only kada, and one is along x axis, another one is along y axis. Y is equal to b sin omega t. That means amplitudes are different, but angular frequencies are same. Amplitudes are different, but angular frequencies are same. AB sin omega t. You see, here the particle experiences two simple harmonic motions at right angles to each other. అంటే ఒకటి along x axis oscillation చేసేట్టుగా restoring force రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటుంది. The same particle receives the restoring force so that the particle makes oscillations along y axis. That means the particle receives two simple harmonic motions along perpendicular to each other. They are represented like this. They are having different amplitudes but same frequency. In this case, what is the resultant motion? In this case, what is the resultant motion of the particles? Resultant motion of the particles means suppose x by y you write it, because we have to eliminate a sign function. X by y is equal to, we can write a sin omega t by b sin omega t, and a by b you will get, implies y is equal to, you will get b by a into x. No, it is just like y is equal to mx. So this is the resultant motion. Y is equal to mx is represent the resultant motion of the particle. What is the resultant motion from this equation? What is the resultant motion from this equation? Straight line. Resultant motion from this equation is a straight line. Okay, therefore, resultant motion is a straight line. If B and A both are equal, then slope is equal to resultant motion is a straight line means you see we can draw the diagram like this. It is x-axis, it is y-axis. When a particle experiences two simple harmonic motions simultaneously at right angles to each other with zero phase, then resultant motion is a straight line having positive slope. Positive slope and here this is angle theta. Tan theta is equal to b by a. And the particle move along the straight line like this. The particle move along the straight line like this. That is the resultant motion. The particle neither move along x-axis nor makes oscillations along y-axis. And two simple harmonic motions in particle simultaneous two perpendicular directions lo receive chestunnappudu the resultant motion is no doubt simple harmonic, but that is moving that particle move along the straight line path like this. Okay, so resultant motion is a straight line. Next, fourth one. In the same case, here in this case, what is the resultant amplitude? In this case, what is the resultant amplitude? How we can find resultant amplitude? Of course, here x is equal to sin omega t. Resultant amplitude A is equal to or A dash is equal to square root of A square plus B square 2 into A into B into cos. మరి ఈ రెండింటి మధ్య ఫేజ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఎంత అండి? ఇది sin omega t, ఇది cos omega, సారీ ఇది sin omega t నే కదా, cos 0. ఇది sin omega t నే కదా, కాబట్టి cos 0 రాసేసుకోవచ్చు. cos 0 అంటే అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? A plus B whole square రాసుకోవచ్చు అండర్ రూట్ అంటే A plus B whole square అండర్ రూట్ అంటే A plus B రాసుకోవచ్చు మనం. When two simple harmonic motions travel along the same direction and meet together, okay, then in such case, resultant amplitude is equal to square root of a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos phi. But here, the two simple harmonic motions experienced by the particles simultaneously at right angles to each other are perpendicular to each other. Okay, in such case, the resultant motion of the particle is represented by the equation r is equal to square root of a square plus b square into sin omega t. The coefficient of harmonic function, that means coefficient of sin omega t, that is the resultant amplitude in this case. So this is the resultant amplitude. That is very, very important. Okay. ఇక్కడ పర్పెండిక్యులర్ గా సింపుల్ హార్మోనిక్ మోషన్స్ మీట్ అయినప్పుడు మనం చేయాల్సిన ప్రొసీజర్ ఇది, రిజల్టెంట్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ ఆర్ రిజల్టెంట్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్. సో హియర్ రిజల్టెంట్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ నాట్ ఆంప్లిట్యూడ్, రిజల్టెంట్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ది పార్టికల్ x ప్లస్ ఆల్రెడీ xy వచ్చినాయి కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ r అని రాసామండి. r is equal to this one. It is also the simple harmonic equation only. ఇక్కడ సంథింగ్ ఇంటూ sin omega t ఉందంటే సింపుల్ హార్మోనిక్ మోషన్ రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది కదా, దాంట్లో దీని యొక్క కోఎఫిషియంట్ రిజల్టెంట్ ఆంప్లిట్యూడ్. సో రిజల్టెంట్ ఆంప్లిట్యూడ్ హియర్ is equal to a square plus b square. If amplitudes are same, then root a square plus a square, root 2a is the answer. Okay, right. So this is called Lissajous figure. This is called Lissajous figure. Lissajous figure means here when two simple harmonic motions meet together at right angles to each other, along which path the particle travel is given by the diagram called Lissajous figure. Lissajous figure ante ikkada when the diagram which gives resultant motion of a particle when two SHMs meet together at perpendicular to each other, at perpendicular to each other is called Lissajous figure. Lissajous figure. That is the definition of the Lissajous figure. When you see the Lissajous figure, then immediately we can say the particle travel along the straight line path in SHM. Okay, that is the definition of the Lissajous figure. Next, fourth point. I think I can arrange this part. Next, fourth one. And phase differences are there. How the motion of the particle we have to discuss. In first third, in this case, when two simple harmonic motions meet together at right angles to each other, with zero phase we have taken. Whenever phase differences are there, what about the motion? We have to discuss. Next, వీటిని చూసుకుని నోట్స్ రాసుకోండి మీరు. ఈ నోట్స్ లో లేనట్టు ఉన్నాయండి. ఇవి నోట్స్ లో లేవు. వీటిని చూసుకుని నోట్స్ రాయండి. అంటే డిఫరెంట్ బుక్స్ లో డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ లో ఉన్నాయి. అవన్నీ కన్సాలిడేట్ చేసి నేను చెప్తున్నాను. సో వీటికి నోట్స్ ఒక రన్నింగ్ నోట్స్ రాసుకోండి మీరు. నెక్స్ట్, ఫోర్త్ వన్. When two simple harmonic motions meet together at right angles to each other with a phase difference of pi by 2. With phase difference pi by 2. When two SHMs meet at right angles to each other or meet at perpendicular to each other with phase difference pi is equal to, pi means phase difference or initial phase. So with phase difference pi is equal to 90 degree. Phase difference 90. Two simple harmonic motions moving, two simple harmonic motions of the particles meet together at right angles to each other. One is x is equal to, we can write here amplitudes of the two particles are you take different, a and b. Okay, so x is equal to a sin omega t we can write, and y is equal to, because these two simple harmonic motions are meeting at a point simultaneously at perpendicular to each other, means one is along x-axis, another one is along y-axis. It is given by b sin omega t. ఇక్కడ phase difference between these two ఉంది కాబట్టి plus pi and 9. Pi అంటే 90. Pi is equal to 90 here. Okay, in this case, this is equal to, of course, here this is equal to b sin omega t plus pi by 2 కదా. అంటే b cos omega t right? b cos omega t. సో x వాల్యూ తెలుసు, y వాల్యూ తెలుసు. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ x అండ్ y ఆన్సర్ వచ్చేట్టుగా రాయాలి. అని ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తామంటే sin omega t, ఈ sin ఫంక్షన్ ఎలిమినేట్ చేయాలి. In order to describe the motion of the particle in terms of x and y only, we have to obtain the result. X and y result ఇందాక కూడా అంతే రాసాం మనం ఫస్ట్ లో. y is equal to some a by b into x something we got. Here also sin omega t is equal to x by a and cos omega t is equal to y by b. Square these two and add them. X square by a square plus y square by b square. X square by a square means sin square omega t plus y square by b square means cos square omega t. That is equal to 1 now. Therefore, this is the resultant motion of the particle. What is the resultant motion here? Tell me. What is the resultant motion here? What is the nature of the equation? What is this? What this represents? Ellipse. This represents ellipse. Lissajous figure if you draw. Suppose if a is greater than b, then you will get like this. It is the case when a greater than b. If b greater than a or a less than b, so that means in this case the particle travel along the elliptical path. So therefore particle travel along elliptical path. The particle travel along elliptical path. That is the case. So when two SHMs travel at right angles to each other, meet together with a phase difference of 90, then the resultant motion of the particle is along the elliptical path. That is the case. Okay, note down. This is equal to a, this is equal to b. If A is equal to B, if A is equal to B, in the same case, if A is equal to B, then x square by A square plus y square by A square is equal to 1, or x square plus y square is equal to A square. What is the nature of motion? If amplitudes of the two individual simple harmonic motions are same, then when two simple harmonic motions with same amplitude meet together at right angles to each other with a phase difference of 90, then the resultant motion is a circle. That's why if you draw the Lissajous diagram here, then you will get a circle like this. Circle. Ellipse. So the resultant motion of the particle is a circle. Okay. Shall I erase this part? Note చేసుకోండి మీరు కూడా note చేసుకోండి. Shall I erase this part? Fifth one. When two SHMs meet together at right angles to each other, perpendicular na okati. At perpendicular to each other, right angles to each other. Perpendicular to each other with a phase difference phi is equal to pi. Phi is equal to pi. Okay, no doubt. X is equal to a sin omega t. One simple harmonic motion we can take, and it is moving along. It is having simple harmonic motion along x-axis. Another simple harmonic motion along y-axis is a sin omega t we can take, but phase difference is pi. That's why sin omega t plus pi we take. Angular frequencies are same for both. Angular frequencies are same for both. Okay, in this case, this is equal to a sin omega t plus pi. A sin omega t plus pi. Pi plus omega t. Pi plus omega t means third quadrant. In third quadrant, sin function is negative, no? In third quadrant, sin function is negative. That's why you write y is equal to a into minus sin omega t. And minus sin omega t we can write. It is y value. Okay, now from this formula, we divide these two. X by y is equal to x by y is equal to ఇది b తీసుకోండి లేకపోతే ఈ రెండు క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోతాయి మళ్ళీ x by y ఇది b తీసుకోండి ఒకటి b తీసేసుకోండి యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ a is equal to b అనేది ఒక కండిషన్ అవుతుంది ఇది b తీసుకోండి amplitude of the second harmonic motion is b say like this. Okay, now x by a is equal x by y is equal to a sin omega t by minus b sin omega t అంటే మైనస్ a by b వస్తుంది కదా a sin omega t by minus b sin omega t. Sin omega t cancel అయిపోతే so x by y is equal to minus a by b. So here from this y is equal to we can write minus b by a into x. No doubt it is a straight line having negative slope. Having negative slope. So we have to draw the graph for this. We have to draw the Lissajous diagram. So what is the resultant motion of the particle? What is the resultant motion of the particle in this case? What is the resultant motion of the particle in this case? No doubt it is the straight line equation, no? That's why straight line only, but having negative slope. That is important. In the options, in the advanced, in the options may be given only diagrams. So resultant motion is represented. You see, when x equal to 0, y also equal to 0. That's why it is a straight line having negative slope passing through RC. Suppose this angle made by the straight line with x-axis is say theta. then tan theta is equal to, no doubt negative slope only, tan theta is equal to b by a. Slope is equal to b by a. Okay, this is one more example. Next. So straight line, circle, ellipse. Okay, these are important. Right. Similarly, for different graphs, for different phase angles, phase differences, what are the types of Lissaj's figure I will draw here? Okay. Sixth one. Sixth one. When two SHMs, having same amplitude, meet together at perpendicular to each other, with phase difference point. Okay. Then one equation, one simple harmonic equation can be represented with x is equal to a sine omega t. Other equation can be represented with the same amplitude. That's why a sine omega t plus phi. Okay. Now, whenever these two are when these two are meet together, simultaneously at right angles to each other, with a phase difference of phi, then what is the resultant motion? So, to obtain the resultant motion, suppose if the phase already, how we can do, I said. So based on that one, I will draw the different Lissaj's figures for phase difference phi. For different phase differences. I will draw all the diagrams at a place for different phase differences. Is the diagram graph. It is x-axis, it is y-axis. Okay. When phase difference is 90 degree, phase difference is 90 degree between them, then we got the circle. No? Result amplitudes from A is equal to B అయినప్పుడు, when A is equal to B and phi is equal to 90, we have x square plus y square is equal to a square we got. That means the resultant motion is a circle. So it is the circle. Okay, when phase difference is 120 degree అనుకుంటే, you will get the resultant motion like this. No doubt ellipse. It is ellipse. అంటే resultant motion ఈ type లో ఉంటుందండి. Resultant motion is like this ellipse. వెన్ అంటే ఇక్కడ ఓకే ఈ టైప్ లో ఉంటుంది. నెక్స్ట్ వెన్ థీటా ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 180, వెన్ ఫై ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 180 డిగ్రీ. ఫై ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ 180 అంటే స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ పాతేగా, ఇట్లా ఆసిలేషన్ చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది కదా, నెగిటివ్ స్లోప్ ఉన్న స్ట్రైట్ లైన్, యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ సేమ్ కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ రిజల్ట్ యాంగిల్ మేడ్ బై ది స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ విత్ ఎక్స్ యాక్సిస్ 45 డిగ్రీ ఉంటుంది, యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ సేమ్ కాబట్టి. అదే డిఫరెంట్ అయితే థీటా ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు టాన్ థీటా ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ బి బై ఏ అని వచ్చిందిగా మనకి, అదొకటి. నెక్స్ట్ 210 కి 150 ఇక్కడ ఫై ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 120 150 డిగ్రీ, వీటికి ఇట్లా సేమ్ వస్తుందండి. అట్లాగే 210 సేమ్ టైప్ గ్రాఫ్ వస్తుంది, 210 240 వీటన్నిటికి కూడా సేమ్ టైప్ వస్తుంది 240. ఓకే నెక్స్ట్ 270 ఇక్కడ 90 కానీ 270 కానీ సేమ్ వస్తుంది, 270 కూడా సేమ్ టైప్ గ్రాఫ్ వస్తుంది. ఓకే నెక్స్ట్ 360 డిగ్రీ, 0 ఆర్ 360, ఫై ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 0 ఆర్ 360 డిగ్రీ, వీటికి యూ విల్ గెట్ అ స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ లైక్ దిస్. So these are the different graphs. 360 Rajesh. Okay, these are the researchers figures. Yes. Next. Okay, these are the different cases. Now, so here it is not converted to reduced mass system because these two are again suspended by these two strings. Now, suppose if only two bodies connected with spring, then we can consider the reduced mass concept. But here these two are suspended by strings, so that the tension also developed here. We should not consider that case. Okay, Vinod Kumar. Right. If these things are not there, we can consider this as the reduced mass. Then time period is equal to 2 pi into root reduced mass by k. M1 M2 by M1 plus M2 whole by k we can write. But it is not like that. So at B, arc acts on bob. Arc acts on bob of mass M. Tau is equal to question mark. Here, by means of two identical strings, two bobs of same masses or two spaces of same mass are suspended at certain distance, and these two are joined by means of a light spring having spring constant k. Whenever the two spheres are under equilibrium, at that time there is no extension or compression in the spring. That means it is an undeformed condition. Now the two spheres are displaced a small deflection x away each other, and when they release it, then they execute oscillations like this. Are these execute oscillations or not? If they execute oscillations, if they execute the simple harmonic oscillations, what is the time period? That is the case. Okay, so whenever the two spheres are displaced away each other through an angle theta up to a distance x, then the torque acts on the bob. Any one of the bobs we can take. Torque acts on the bob at B. Tau is equal to this is a restoring torque, because when the bob is displaced in this direction, the restoring torque acts in opposite direction. That's why we write minus sign. Minus of force acts on the bob in this direction is equal to mg sin theta plus spring force Fs. It is the net force into perpendicular distance of these forces from the point of suspension. This is a point O. Okay, so about O, about point of suspension at B when body lies, torque acts on them is equal to perpendicular distance of this force from the point of suspension is equal to L no. So we can write here. Therefore, torque tau is equal to minus mg. Torque tau is equal to minus mg sin. Here, in this case, as this deflection is very small, here theta is very small. Theta is very small. That's why we can write mg minus of mg sin theta means theta we can write plus fs means k into 2x into L. That is equal to minus of mg theta plus 2k into what about x? X is equal to almost all you say it is a right angle triangle. Tan theta is equal to x by L or sin theta is equal to x by L we can write. When as theta is small, sin theta is nearly equal to sin theta is equal to x by L we can write. Or that implies that is nearly equal to theta. Okay, x is equal to theta into L we can write. Theta into L you write. X is equal to theta into L. Okay, into L. Therefore, you take theta common. You take theta common. So minus of mg plus 2k into, of course, mg L, you write 2k L square into theta. You take theta common and write outside. So torque tau is equal to minus mg L plus 2k L square of theta. Okay, this is the torque acts on them. That is equal to torque tau is equal to I alpha we can write now. So moment of inertia of the same bob or body with respect to this point O. So I into angular acceleration of this body with respect to this point. I alpha is equal to minus of mg L plus 2k L square of theta. I means moment of inertia of this bob with respect to this is equal to mass into distance square means L square only no because length is L given. So m into L square. M square alpha is equal to minus. You take L common here. mc plus 2k L square into theta into L. L, this L cancel. Therefore, alpha is equal to minus of mc plus 2k. The 2k L we have taken common. So 2k L by m. By L is also there into theta. Okay. Therefore, we see for the given arrangement m, k, L all are constant. So alpha is equal to minus some constant into theta. That means alpha is proportional to theta. It is the required condition for angular simple harmonic oscillations. No. Therefore, alpha is equal to minus omega square into theta. We can compare with this equation. Then omega square is equal to square root of, we will have this one, mg plus 2k L by ml. So split them, square root of. When you split them, you will get g by L. So based on the answer, we have to split them. Okay, keep like this. First you write time period formula because time period they asked. That is equal to 2 pi by t. Therefore, time period t is equal to 2 pi into root of ml by mg plus 2k into L. Therefore, t is equal to 2 pi into root of, you bring m to denominator, then L by m means mm cancel, so g you will get by m means 2k L by m, 2k L by small m. It is the time period. Time period 2 pi into root L by g plus 2k L by m. Yeah, that is the answer. Okay. Next, fourth one. Shall I write this part? Shall I write that side also? From simple pendulum onwards, this week we discussed, last week we discussed the velocity of the particle in simple harmonic motion, amplitude, acceleration, etc. We discussed last week syllabus. Other than gravitation, total simple harmonic motion chapter, whatever the topics completed so far, whether they are completed last week or this week, the total simple harmonic motion. Okay, right. Simple harmonic motion chapter మొత్తం అమ్మా, అది ఏ వీక్ లో చెప్పినా సరే మొత్తం. Have a nice day. I'm signing out. Bye all of you. Have lunch and take rest for 1 hour. Bye. Today you have to do, you have to revise that simple harmonic motion. Okay. Today we will be having exam. Yesterday actually, as I did not find the time, even up to 10:10 also you are asking, 10:05, up to 10:05 you are asking doubts. That's why I did not find the time to conduct the exam. ఈ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఎగ్జామ్ పెడతాను చెప్పే కదా, 3 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కానీ లేకపోతే 5 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కానీ ఒక 20 minutes ఎగ్జామ్ పెడదాం అనుకున్నా ఎవ్రీడే. అయితే నిన్న టైం లేక పెట్టలేదండి. ఇవాళ చూద్దాం, ఇవాళ టైం ఉండొచ్చు ఎందుకంటే రివిజన్ కాబట్టి మీకు టైం ఉంటుంది. డెఫినెట్లీ ఐ విల్ కండక్ట్ ద ఎగ్జామ్. ఓకే రైట్. జస్ట్ ఈ చెక్, అదేమి ఇక్కడ మేము వాల్యుయేషన్ చేయడం కాదండి. ఆ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మీరు ఇచ్చిన హార్ట్ లో ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇస్తా, ఆ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మీరు ఎన్ని చేయగలుగుతున్నారు కరెక్ట్ కీ చూసుకుని 10 o'clock కీ ఐ విల్ పోస్ట్ ఇన్ ద గ్రూప్. సో కరెక్ట్ గా ఉందా లేదా, మీరు చేసింది కరెక్ట్ గా ఉందా లేదా, లేకపోతే నెక్స్ట్ స్టడీ అవర్ లో మళ్ళీ ఆ ప్రాబ్లం ఎట్లా వచ్చిందని తెలుసుకోండి. ఎందుకంటే మీకు ఇచ్చిన హోంవర్కే కాబట్టి డెఫినెట్లీ యూ కెన్ డూ. ఓకే రైట్ అన్న. హ్యావ్ ఎ నైస్ డే. ఐ యామ్ సైనింగ్ అవుట్. బై ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ.